Leading up to launch, I was afraid the American Dream would just be another PlayStation VR wave shooter, but one that differentiates itself by poking fun at America's obsession with firearms. And now that I've completed all 20 plus stages, I can safely tell you that no, this isn't just another wave shooter. In fact, I'm having difficulties putting it into any genre at all. Fraught with endless narration and interspersed with minigames, the American Dream starts off entertaining enough, but by the end it simply loses its way.
Bonding can happen even earlier and in the safe environment of the home.
Each stage of the American Dream is another pivotal moment of your character's voyage into adulthood. You'll start off as a baby in a crib, but soon you'll be playing catch with dad in the backyard, going to prom, getting married, and starting a family. The hook, though, is that you'll be interacting with literally everything in each scene, through the use of guns. Pick up your clothes by shooting them off the floor. Chop food, wash cars, knock on doors, flip burgers, and change diapers. Yep, you guessed it, by shooting them. The move controllers track perfectly, and lining up your shot is never an issue. Nothing here is particularly challenging, though you will be rewarded with seemingly meaningless cash based on your performance during each stage.
Pull the bolt up and back. Once the rifle has...
But what starts off as funny and satirical eventually devolves into a heavy-handed message about gun control. And regardless of what side of the argument you fall on, 3 hours of hammering the point home is more than enough for anyone. Graphically, what you see is what you get. Crisp and clear, the cartoon worlds and cardboard cutouts of other characters deliver on the unspoken promise of a 1950s episode of Leave It to Beaver. But the narrator, who admittedly can be funny at times, speaks through a tinny megaphone-like speaker. He drones on endlessly. I'd estimate that more than half of the game is just listening to him talk. And after a while of hearing his voice, he eventually becomes relegated to background noise. And when the story takes a dark turn during the last few stages, all subtlety is lost, and the game quickly starts to overstay its welcome.
Including milk, carbohydrates, and a sprinkle of gunpowder. Spicy.
You ready? Come on, Snake, let's rattle.
Ultimately, for most of its 3 hours, the American Dream is fun, funny, and creative. Samurai Punk should be applauded for making a clearly politically incorrect game and having the guts to release it in the midst of such a politically and socially charged climate. But despite its message, the American Dream is never more than the sum of its parts, a collection of minigames with a humorous slant. It's good for a playthrough, but when it was all over, I can't say I found myself wanting more. And depending on the stance you take regarding gun control, you might even lose interest long before I did.